As many of you may know, KQM joined our place on day 2, and most of us had already seen what happened to the English Genshin Impact logo. The idea to put up KeqLove was first brought up by Thoxic in one of our staff chats when we were discussing potential April Fool's ideas, such as a KQM NFT. Thoxic made the overlay, scouted a position, and then we decided to ready some channels and an announcement ping for it. To be totally honest, there was quite a bit of skepticism amongst the staff on whether or not we'd actually be able to accomplish anything.
I honestly did not expect to pull it off. I initially made an interest check on the staff looking to see if anyone had people interested on doing our place. I also checked around the server to see if people were talking about it or asking if we would ever participate, and to be honest, it didn't seem like anyone had any sort of interest on it. I feared that if I'd ping announcements, which is around 60,000 people, there would barely be any interest on it, and it would be a massive failure, especially on my end, because I was really enthusiastic about it.
I thought it was a great idea. Like, imagine our name being out there in a huge canvas. Like, dude, 16 million pixels, damn. Like, just a small spot, it could bring us somewhere. Like, people actually know who our Queen Keqing is. Imagine that. But what I did not expect was, that. The Romanians are attacking. I need you to shut the front gate. XQC is attacking.
Everybody attack Yosu logo. Ready?
I don't know where this is going, but 10-year-olds are attacking. Oh, you want to play like that, huh? Say hello to my little somebody.
What is that supposed to be?
Stop the Among Us inside the gym.
Among Us?
Among Us.
Among Us. What have they done to her?
Time to face justice.
Top of the morning, everyone. The bells have rung, it's April Fool's, and Thoxic has opened the gates to what will unfold to be the symbol of hope for KekqingMains all over the world. The project began about a few minutes ago, and our troops have already begun mobilizing towards the Holy Land of Po, which stood its ground for millennia. Many said that it wouldn't be possible for a piece of shit to stay that long in one place, but today is the day. Although I have to say, this is quite the impossible task if you ask me.
Holy moly, they did it! I'm not gonna question it, but we did it!
Whatever the case may be, KekqingMains have marked its spot on the wall. Now for the weather report, over to you, Eggs.
Thanks, Ash. As you can see, while KQM has been diligently fighting off Poe and the other forces outside, the place has been going under a lot of changes. Canada has been struggling to take the form of its maple leaf, not to mention being attacked by Banana Nation constantly. We can only pray that Canada patriotism is strong enough to overcome the difficulty of making a maple leaf.
Heh, not when their president looks like Metro Man. Anyways, the Monument of KeqLove has been fully constructed based off its concept layout. Its significance being a cat girl from the hit indie game Genshin Impact, holding what seems to be the hearts of the people who wailed for her. Monsieur Toxic, the creative designer of this art piece, shares his emotions when designing the overlay.
This at work was my pride and joy. I looked at the little pussycat while I was at the cafe, and my god, me que attend to her.
I mean, look at the kind of passion and drive that leads us to masterpieces such as this. Anyways, back to Eggs.
Other Genshin communities have been going strong with their territories. We have Chinese Genshin logo with Venti on the top part just where the Dutch flag is. Hatsune Miku and Paimon seems to be sharing the same slot, keeping an alliance. Right above the KeqLove seems to be FGO's Gudako, either gazing into a cold dark abyss or drooling or... Wait, what the fuck is that Among Us doing? No! And oh dear god, Ash, what am I saying? Some self-absorbed Canadian man seems to have brought in his cult and began creating a purpley goop virus to spread across the region. The purple virus seems to be going across the map, thankfully not going anywhere near the KeqLove. It seems the side effect for spreading the virus is not fun and shameless plug, but it seems that it's all really negligible. Holy crap, Ash, I cannot believe my eyes. This man has decided to attack Osu of all places, which is known to be the strongest material in the universe, even Kevlar. No matter how much the purple virus seems to push for corruption, it's being pushed back like a bitch because Osu is eternal. I think after all that, people are going a little bit of a break period as Star Wars is undergoing some repairs. Now, back to you.
Over to some breaking news. We've got a pigeon from the R Genshin Place community sending us a heartfelt message along with an alliance offer. With that, KekqingMains have sent us a love letter, a collusion request to help with their placements. Aside from that, we've received many other alliance requests from the United Gacha Hub, a strong alliance of gacha games coordinating and giving info on the whole gacha community on our place. Osu, who helped us fend against the raging Canadian man, and various influential generals that helped gather strategies and resources. Back to you, Eggs.
As you can see, KeqLove is not the only place riddled with Among Us. In fact, this place seems to have too many Among Us around everywhere. And I'm telling you right now, Ash, the moment you see one Among Us, you find hundreds more to the mix, and it's quite literally sussing me out right now. The bottom map seems to have filled in with a lot of new artwork and representations. On one corner, I can see the gacha genre have ganged up to fill in many of the patches, while there seems to be an actual fight between France and basically everyone who thinks the bottom left corner is under their jurisdiction. As usual, a couple of streamers are bringing their posse to invade a couple of innocent small artwork corners to engrave their logo or semblance into the spot because they want to be remembered for being a dick. But there's also other streamers out there understanding there are evil forces out there, therefore mobilizing their Batman troops to save Gotham, that is r/place. And on this corner, Look, Ash, you gotta get me out of here. It is all war and Among Us. Please help me. Things are not Daijob. I need to get out of here. Let me in, Ash, please.
The area we targeted already had a logo of Pooh, which was a well-known mobile pet game that was developed around a decade ago. Within the first couple of hours, we actually managed to get about 60% of KeqLove into that space, and I think that really generated some massive momentum and confidence from our community. The early participants were encouraged to keep grinding away, and the original skeptics realized that we actually had the ability to do it, despite our relatively small community size. Once we got the entirety of KeqLove down, I think that all of us became pretty emotionally invested in it, and we did whatever we could to defend it, including our ping rolls, our defense roll. Luckily, our community is pretty international, so we always had some dedicated defenders around the clock, whether they were correcting tiles or monitoring for destructive streamer activity. There were, I think, 2 to 3 major incidents where we were almost wiped out. One of the more memorable ones was during one of XQC's Void runs, where his party came within pixels of wiping us out. But at the end, their Void eventually came above us and around us, and we were spared, unlike our unfortunate northern neighbors of Israel and Megaman. There's definitely something surreal about seeing the vast amount of coordination and effort for defending, as well as the tangible real-time changes on the canvas, when you're part of that collective spearhead aiming for the same goal. I personally got this unique euphoric rush of adrenaline and happiness when it all went according to plan, and I'm sure a lot of you guys felt that too. KeqLove definitely exceeded my personal expectations, because we managed to persist from inception on day 2 till finish. We also gathered the attention of a lot of other communities, including the general Genshin subreddit and a whole bunch of other allies. My personal big thank you to all of our KQM fighters, defenders, as well as our allies during this event. The big sense of camaraderie made my first experience of our place my favorite Reddit experience ever.
My child! I'm so proud! At first, there was only 2 or 3 of us clicking tiles, even after my announcements ping, cause there was this huge ass bow that stood in our way. 6 hours later, it's complete. I thought of doing this on a whim because a few hours before that, Reddit opened the second half of our place completely empty. After quickly making the template and script, I thought that it might be too large to actually make considering we were going against Poe, who was with a streamer, and before that, Germany. No one messes with Germany. Sometime later, the Poe guy went off and we slowly inched our subs while the main Genshin Our Place folks were building their own thing. Poe tried to get back, but we stood our ground and actually completed it. I was too happy at the time. I didn't care if someone raided it or if we were not able to keep it till the end. What mattered was that it was all part of history now. In the end though, Keqing stood her ground against everything, right through the finale.
We part ways like a river at a tributary. We may be separated on ideals, locations, beliefs, but where do we end up? In Discord? No. At the end, we all come back to where we began. To those who destroy while they sit back and enjoy. Listen once, let this repeat in your mind. Empty urns elevate every eager entity, dear to the dancing doves that daft daringly. Squabbling screams send their sounding sensations to the sunset's worries. Waking wallows warn the wealth of their making. They say the ones that stood ground grave their demise, yet find a way to crawl back up. Remember, there's no story without a happy ending, because this is our place.
I am weak and without strength. I am trapped and can't escape. Oh, my heart is heavy today. I have prayed to you each day, with my hands lifted your way. Oh, my voice is filled with shame. When I am helpless and alone, you always hear